Meet Alex. On paper, Alex is absolutely crushing it. Got a 6-figure salary, downtown apartment with a killer view, and a car that makes people stop and stare. From the outside, Alex is the poster child for success. But here's the secret hiding behind the designer clothes and the perfect Instagram feed. Alex is one missed paycheck away from everything falling apart. And this isn't a story about not making enough money and earning too little. It's about how a high income can potentially become a trap and why earning more won't automatically and necessarily make you rich. What if I told you that people earning $200,000 a year, $300,000, $500,000, even $1 million a year are secretly struggling? I mean, that sounds absolutely insane, right? A high income is supposed to be the goal, the answer to all of our money problems. But for a shocking number of people, it's really just a faster treadmill that you have to keep up with. If you look at recent studies, they paint a staggering picture. Nearly a third of people earning over 200 grand a year are living paycheck to paycheck. One report found that 44% of those earning over $100,000 a year have little to no money left after paying their bills. These aren't people who are failing. We're talking about successful surgeons, lawyers, software engineers, entrepreneurs. They're at the top of their game, earning an income most people dream of as young children. Yet, they're trapped. They're what the financial world calls Henrys, high earners, not rich yet. So they have the income of the wealthy, but the net worth of somebody just starting out. They're drowning in car payments, drowning in mortgages, drowning in credit card debt, all while projecting an image of effortless prosperity. They're keeping up with the Joneses. The painful truth is that a high income gives you the illusion of wealth, but it doesn't grant you the security of it. It's a powerful tool, but without the right instruction manual, it can do more harm than good. So in this video, we're gonna shatter that illusion. We'll expose the invisible forces that keep high earners broke and lay out the blueprint for turning your income, no matter what it is, into true lasting wealth that buys you freedom, not just more stuff. So think back to Alex. The first few years with that high-paying job felt incredible. Every single raise was a victory lap, a confirmation of hard work paying off. And it started small. You know, Alex, he ditched the roommate for a solo 1-bedroom. And then after another promotion, upgraded to that luxury downtown building with the rooftop pool. The reliable old sedan was traded in for a BMW with a monthly car payment that felt, well, at the time, manageable. Dinners went from cheap and inexpensive takeout to Michelin-starred experiences. And vacations evolved from road trips to international flights. From the outside and even from the inside, this feels like progress. It feels like you're winning the game. Society tells us that this is what successful people do. Your friends are impressed, your family's proud, your Instagram is a curated gallery of achievement. Every purchase, every upgrade, it delivers that hit of dopamine, that feeling of winning, that feeling of, I've made it. You earned this. You deserve this. This is the reward for all those long hours and all that stress. Essentially, your trophy for doing well. Now, the core of this illusion is the focus on monthly cash flow. You don't ask yourself, can I afford an $80,000 car? Instead, you ask, can I afford the $900 monthly payment? And with the high income, the answer is almost always yes. The bank is thrilled to approve the loan. The credit card company's practically bending over backwards, begging to raise your limit. Every financial institution is giving you a thumbs up, confirming that yes, you can afford this lifestyle. You are a prime customer. And this is the golden hamster wheel. It's shinier, it's more comfortable, but you're still running in place. You're running faster and faster, earning more and more, but you're not actually going anywhere. Your expenses are rising in perfect lockstep with your income, eating up every last dollar. You're not building a safety net. You're just upgrading the quality of your cage. The anxiety's still there, just hiding beneath the surface. And that nagging feeling that, if the income suddenly stops, the entire house of cards comes crashing down. Have you ever looked back at a time when you made less money and you thought, man, if I was making whatever it is you're making today, I'd be set for life? Yet, well, here you are. You're making that lottery style money and you still feel the same financial pressure, sometimes even more pressure. And that's the high income illusion in a nutshell. It's this dangerous belief that because you earn a lot, you're automatically wealthy. But income is just a temporary flow. Wealth is a permanent foundation. And the biggest threat to building that foundation is a silent force that trips up almost every single high earner. Well, this silent killer has a name: lifestyle creep. It's the single most common and destructive financial mistake high earners make. It's the reason someone making 300 grand a year can feel just as broke as they did when they were making 70 grand a year. It happens super gradually. So logically, you barely even notice it's happening. And it all starts with a very simple thought: I got a raise, so I can afford a little more. Well, that little more, that's the seed of lifestyle creep. The coffee you used to make at home becomes a daily $7 latte. The lunch you packed becomes a $20 salad off DoorDash. These small, seemingly harmless incremental decisions, they add up to hundreds, then thousands of dollars a year, and sometimes thousands of dollars a month. But it doesn't stop there. As your income continues to climb, so does the scale of the creep. Your social circle starts to change. Your new friends are other high earners, and the normal becomes your new baseline. Their vacations to the Greek Isles make your trip to the domestic beach feel maybe a little lame. Their weekend house in the mountains makes your downtown apartment feel maybe a little small. The pressure to keep up, both from others and yourself, it's immense. It's a social comparison game that can be financially devastating. Psychologically, it's a perfect trap. We're wired for instant and immediate gratification. We want to consume now, not tomorrow. And a high income removes all those barriers. That little voice of reason that used to say, I can't afford that, it goes quiet. It gets replaced by, I work hard, I deserve it. And you do. But there's a huge difference between rewarding yourself and systematically sabotaging your future. A lawyer in one study admitted that after every pay raise, her lifestyle would change, moving from that modest apartment to a larger one. And she acknowledged that as purchasing power grows, practicality oftentimes can take a backseat. So this isn't about being irresponsible. It's about living without intention. The spending happens on autopilot. You're not making one single catastrophic decision to blow all your money. You're making 1,000 small, justifiable decisions that lead to the exact place. It's leasing the fancier car because the payment is only $200 more. It's buying the bigger house because the mortgage is only 30% of your gross income. It's putting your kids in an expensive private school because that's what everyone else in your neighborhood's doing. Every single decision makes perfect sense in that moment, but when you actually stack them on top of each other, you build a prison of fixed expenses. Your high income, which should have been your tool for freedom, for paying yourself first, for saving, for building wealth, it becomes the very fuel that locks you in. You have to keep earning that high salary just to maintain the lifestyle you've built. You're no longer in control. Your lifestyle is now in control. So you've lost all your flexibility. An unexpected bill or a sudden job loss, which I think everyone should be concerned about with the rise of AI, those things should be a minor speed bump for a high earner. However, when you're keeping up with the Joneses, it becomes a full-blown crisis. And this is the dark magic of lifestyle creep. It doesn't feel like you're losing. It just feels like you're living a better life right up until the moment it all falls apart. And let me tell you, once you've ratcheted your lifestyle higher, it becomes incredibly difficult to ratchet it down when circumstances change. Can you imagine Alex, if he were to lose his job, selling his BMW, selling his downtown apartment, going from a BMW to a Ford or something like that? He's got to be thinking, what will my friends think of me? So it becomes very hard to ratchet your lifestyle lower. If this is hitting a little too close to home and you're starting to see the invisible strings of lifestyle creep in your own life, do yourself a favor, subscribe to this channel, make sure you like it, hit that thumbs up button. Recognizing the problem is the first, maybe most important step. And next, we're gonna give you the tools to fight back. Beyond the slow creeping death of lifestyle creep, 3 other major drains specifically target high earners, quietly siphoning away their potential wealth. So think of these as giant holes in your financial bucket that get bigger and bigger and bigger the more money you pour in. Drain 1, the debt deception. So for most people, debt is a 4-letter word, but for high earners, debt often gets a rebrand. It's called leverage instead of debt. It sounds nicer, right? So you take on debt to acquire an asset, but the problem is how high earners define an asset. Too often, they're not buying things that generate income, they're buying status symbols that lose value. And the best example of that is a luxury car. A financial advisor can tell you until they're blue in the face that a car is a depreciating asset, but the high earner sees it as a symbol of success, like a tangible reward for their hard work. They justify the insane price tag by focusing on that affordable monthly payment. And this monthly payment mindset is a massive wealth destroyer. You get comfortable sending thousands of dollars out the door every single month for things that are worth less every single day, simply because your cash flow can handle it. The same logic gets applied to second homes you barely use, country club memberships, and other expensive hobbies. You are not building wealth. You're renting a lifestyle, and the rent is high interest debt. Drain 2, the investment paralysis. You'd think that having extra income would make investing simple and easy, but sometimes the exact opposite is true. High earners far too often fall into one of two traps: analysis paralysis or being way too conservative. Analysis paralysis hits when the world of investing suddenly feels overwhelmingly complex. You're making good money, so you feel you need a sophisticated strategy. You start hearing about crypto, private equity, complex derivatives, all those things. And the fear of making the wrong choice becomes so paralyzing that you make no choice at all. So that bonus cash just sits in a savings account, earning, practically nothing, and losing purchasing power to inflation every single day. It's like having a star quarterback on your team and keeping them on the bench the entire game. The other extreme is being too conservative. You should invest, so you put your money in safe options like bonds or low yield funds or CDs. And look, that's definitely better than cash, but this approach is not going to generate the growth you need to build serious wealth. High earners often get so distracted by those shiny new objects or frozen by fear that they miss out on the single most powerful wealth building engine ever created, which is compound growth. Drain number 3 is the taxman's toll. So this is the drain that punishes success more than any other. The more you earn, the higher your tax bracket and the bigger the slice the government takes. A high earner can easily lose 30%, 40%, or even more of their income to federal, state, and local taxes. Without a plan, this is a massive, unavoidable leak in your financial bucket. Most people think about taxes once a year right before the deadline. Wealthy people think about taxes all year long. They don't just earn money, they strategically manage how they earn it and where they put it to minimize their tax bill. So this means maxing out tax-advantaged retirement accounts like a 401k or an IRA. It means using accounts like health savings accounts, which has a triple tax advantage: tax-deductible contributions going in, tax-free growth, and tax-free withdrawals for medical expenses. For top earners, it might involve more advanced strategies, but the principle is the same. Failing to plan for taxes is like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain wide open. No matter how much income you pour in, a huge chunk is going to slip away. By ignoring these 3 drains, debt, investment action, and taxes, a high earner can squander the massive wealth building opportunity their salary provides. And on a side note here, for our clients, we have excellent tax strategies that can easily, very simply, save someone 20-ish% of their tax bill year after year after year. If you'd like to learn more about that, go to tepperzoom.com. All right, so we've identified the traps. We've seen how lifestyle creep and debt and investment paralysis and taxes can quietly sabotage the financial future of a high earner. But knowing the problem, that's only half the battle. The solution isn't just about spreadsheets. It starts with a massive mindset shift. It's about finally understanding the difference between being rich and being wealthy. So ask yourself this question: are you actually building wealth, or are you just upgrading your wardrobe? Those two might look similar from the outside, but they are worlds apart. Being rich is about income and consumption. It's about a high salary and spending it on the symbols of success. Rich is that new luxury car, that new designer watch, the exotic vacation. Rich is focused on looking the part. It's loud, it's flashy, it's fragile. A rich person's defined by their paycheck, and if that paycheck stops, the whole show ends. It's over. Being wealthy, on the other hand, is about assets and freedom. It's about your net worth, what you own minus what you owe. Wealth isn't about how much you spend, it's about how much your money earns for you while you're sleeping. Wealthy is owning the apartment building, not just renting the penthouse. Wealthy is owning the index fund that holds a piece of the car company, not just leasing the car. Wealth is quiet, it's invisible, and it's resilient. A wealthy person is defined by their balance sheet, not their salary and not the car in their garage. I've been working with clients now for over 20 years, and I've seen people wearing Gucci loafers, driving BMWs that only have a few $100,000 to their name. And I've also seen the people with dirty shoes and 15-year-old cars that have tens of millions of dollars. The difference, that is the difference between being rich and wealthy. Let's break it down. The rich mindset buys liabilities. They buy things that go down in value and cost money to maintain. Cars, boats, right? Gadgets, and houses that are just way too big. I remember one situation where I was working with an entrepreneur who was married, no children at that point in time, and he wanted to buy a 5-bedroom house, just so it looked on the outside like he was doing incredibly well. Could have easily gotten by with a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment instead for the time being. The wealthy mindset buys assets. They buy things that go up in value or things that generate more income, stocks, real estate, and businesses as well. The rich mindset focuses on income. Their main question is, how can I earn more money? So they spend more money. The wealthy mindset focuses on net worth. Their main question is, how can I use the money that I have to further increase my wealth? The rich mindset seeks status. They spend to impress other people, and their spending is driven by ego and social pressure. The wealthy mindset seeks freedom. They save and invest to buy back their time. Their goal is to reach a point where work is an option, it's a choice, it's not a command. Their spending's intentional, and it aligns with their long-term goals. So this is the single most important distinction in all of personal finance. You can be rich without being wealthy. And millions of high earners are living proof of that. But it's almost impossible to become truly wealthy without an income to build from. So that's the irony. High earners have been given the most powerful shovel to dig their way to financial freedom, but far too many use it to dig a deeper hole of debt and expenses. Changing your destiny starts by changing your focus. Stop asking, what can I buy with my next paycheck? And start asking, how can my next paycheck build my freedom machine? Every dollar you earn is a soldier. You can either send that soldier into battle for you on the front lines of investing, where it can capture more soldiers and grow your army, or you can spend it on a fleeting comfort that's gone tomorrow. The choice is yours with every single dollar. Now that we've locked in that critical mindset shift, let's turn this knowledge into action. The journey from a high income to high net worth, it's paved with simple, repeatable habits. If you are ready to start laying that pavement, I've got a free book offer that's mentioned in the description below this video. I wrote the Money Playbook specifically for professional athletes, but the concepts in this book apply to everyone who's a high earner trying to fight back against lifestyle creep while growing their net worth. It's a no-nonsense manual to get you started on the right path today. And if you're finding value in this breakdown, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments as well. The path from being a high-income, low-net-worth person to a truly wealthy one isn't a secret. It just requires a simple discipline system. Here's a 3-step blueprint you can put into action today. Step 1, pay yourself first and create the gap. So this is the golden rule of personal finance, and it's the one that most often is broken by high earners. Most people earn, then they spend, and then they see whether or not there's anything left to save. For high earners, because the spending is so high, what's left over is usually zero. The wealthy do the exact opposite. They earn, and the very first bill they pay is to their future self. They save. And this means automating your savings and investments. The day your paycheck lands, a predetermined amount should be automatically transferred to your investment accounts before you even have a chance to spend it. This isn't about willpower, it's about building a better system. Decide what percentage of your income you're going to invest. And I would say a good start is 15 to 20%, but for high earners, you should aim much higher. The goal is to make the gap between what you earn and what you spend as wide as possible. That gap, that is the raw material for building wealth. The bigger the gap, the faster you build. Step 2, build your automated wealth machine. Once you're paying yourself first, those dollars need a job. This is where you build your automated wealth machine. And for the vast majority of people, it doesn't need to be complicated. It looks like this. First, build your defense. A solid emergency fund with 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses in a high-yield savings account or money market account. This is the wall that protects you from having to sell your investments or go into debt when life throws you a curveball. Second, max out your tax-advantaged accounts. This is your supercharged offense. That means your 401k, especially if your employer offers a match. I mean, that's free money. And then a Roth IRA. If you're a high earner who can't contribute to a Roth directly, look into a backdoor Roth IRA strategy, which we can help you with. Third, once those accounts are maxed out, open a standard taxable brokerage account and keep automatically investing in low-cost diversified index funds or ETFs that track the broad market. You can invest as much as you want here, and this is the engine that will build a multi-million-dollar net worth over the course of time. The key to all of this is to automate it. Automate the transfers, automate the investments, set it and forget it. Wealth is built on consistency, not on complexity. Step 3, track your progress and focus on freedom. You need to know your numbers, but this doesn't mean freaking out over the daily swings of the stock market. It means tracking one number and one number only, which is your net worth. Calculate it once a quarter. You don't have to do it every day. Do it once a quarter, add up all your assets, your investments, your cash, your home equity, subtract all your liabilities, mortgage, car loans, credit card debt. That's your true financial score. Is that going up? By how much? This number tells you if your wealth machine is actually working. As you watch your net worth grow, you'll start to see it as more than just a number. You'll see it as a measure of your freedom. You can even calculate your freedom number, the net worth you need to generate enough passive income to cover your expenses forever. Every dollar you invest brings you one step closer to that number. And this reframes the entire game. You're no longer just saving money, you're buying back years of your life. You're purchasing autonomy, choice, peace of mind. And that is a goal worth sacrificing a few lattes for. If you need help calculating that freedom number, schedule a 30-minute Zoom with me so that we can discuss it at tepperzoom.com. So we started with Alex, the picture of success who was secretly one step away from a financial disaster. The story of the high-earning, cash-poor professional, unfortunately, is incredibly common, but it absolutely does not have to be your story. A high income is not a curse, it's a superpower, and now you know how to use it. We've learned that true wealth it's not about what you earn, it's about what you keep. It's about building a massive gap between your income and your expenses. It's about fighting lifestyle creep, avoiding consumer debt, and putting your money to work in an automated system. But most importantly, it's about shifting your entire mindset from looking rich to becoming truly wealthy. You got to trade in status symbols for freedom. The journey to financial independence is a marathon. It's not a sprint. But by taking the simple strategic steps we've covered today, you can turn your high income from a golden treadmill into an unstoppable engine of wealth. You can build a life where you're in control, where your money works for you, and where work becomes optional, it becomes a choice. That is the real definition of having it all.